Hello everyone, welcome back to the Stanley Parable.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Is this the place with the whiteboard?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Yeah.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I guess I can take the bucket and
Is Stanley without the bucket
really Stanley at all?
No. No, surely not.
Well, okay. Now I gotta go back.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was
So
not
we gotta
true
take the
to
lift
meeting
this
room,
time
but Stanley
and
had
go
felt the
across.
bucket calling
Okay.
to him, telling him that
There's the
employee
two
was
lift
simply
endings.
the place to be. And here it was.
Or
Had the bucket
past the
turned out
lift.
to be correct was no.
And then there's one I can do in the entry area. I think
Stanley
that's it,
took
but
the door on
then
his left to go back
I'll
to
look
the
up if there's
meeting
anything
room.
else. I know there's other endings, I just don't know how to trigger them.
Said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift. Good,
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something
Oh
up
wait,
there
I didn't
need
want to
you
take the
do.
bucket with... Well, it's too late
Stanley
now.
did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
It's not that dark. Oh, that one's dark.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone and it will take us back home where we can go about life together.
Oh, my eyes. Oh. Oh, that's bright.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket.
Sad story?
Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was
It's a nice
lonely and
apartment.
could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Oh. Hey, Stanley, it's me, your bucket. Press to take me to work with you.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Oh. Press triangle to take me back home with you.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Well, this is kind of sad, too. Back to work.
Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
Don't listen to the loud man. Press that to take us back for us to go back home.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket.
Oh, it's getting
You know,
scary.
once upon a time, it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Press circle to ignore anyone in your life except for me.
It's sad.
Oh, the
I
lights are all
suppose he
going
doesn't
out.
need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine
Uh-oh.
to it.
It's the One Ring. You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley? Press it's not X. Cross is what it's called. I have to remember from Astro Boy. Astro Boy.
Yes,
Astro
I suppose
Bot.
on closer inspection, that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket.
Uh-oh.
It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid.
Uh-oh.
Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Press that to relive the same day with me over and over.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
Okay. Go to home. To go home, to work, to home, to work, to home.
Oh no.
Why are there creepy ritual
I'm having
candles now?
feelings for the bucket. No, 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 no. What's going on? Why do I want
Like it's supposed to be
with the
romantic
bucket?
candles,
Hear what the
but
bucket has to say. Do anything it
the
asks.
atmosphere is
What's
wrong.
wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
oh, it really is just the one ring.
Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley.
Chast Knights with
I
the
need
bucket.
it. Give it to me now. Give it or I'll...
Oh. That was scary. Go back to work, Stanley.
Someone was following Stanley. He
What?
was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
I don't like that. Alright, Bucket. This one's without you. I gotta go back there and see what the normal version of that ending is. It's also apartment related, but it's pretty different.
When Stanley came to a set of
if
two
I
open
remember
doors,
right.
this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Alright.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps
Back
we've
across.
gotten off on the wrong
God, how would you
foot
even
here.
reach the ones up
I'm
there
not
now that I
trying
think
to be
about it?
really, I'm not.
The forklifts don't go
I
that high.
realize that investing your trust in
They probably don't
someone
even reach the
else
top
can
of
be
that
difficult.
shelf.
But the fact is that the story has been about nothing but
Is there a
you
crane
all
system?
this
There's
time.
this lift, but this
Someone
wouldn't
you've
work.
been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me. I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Isn't this one a little creepy?
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Oh god, that's so bad on the eyes.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Yep.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
What if I go down the hallway though?
Sorry, but you're in my story
Oh.
now.
This
is a very
sucks.
sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Oh. Good morning, employee 427. Press X on your controller. Or cross.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Ugh. Please press up.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Please press circle.
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Press to watch TV.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job.
Wait, there's no
First, he
TV.
imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Press to spend time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Press cross to prepare dinner.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to
some
fill it
bleed
with many
through.
possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions.
Yeah, we saw those.
And down another was a game with a baby.
And we saw that too.
And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Please press down to tell your kids a story.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Press triangle to tell your wife you love her.
But there is no answer.
She's gone.
How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Yeah, this is... Go to sleep.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Please press square to be at work in the morning. I don't think you can actually not do it. Nothing happens.
You see? Can he just not hear me?
Oh.
How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Please press circle to square nothing. Question to square nothing? To question nothing. Ooh, I'm getting
I
tired.
suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
Oh,
And Stanley pushed a
please
button.
die.
And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Ugh. Yeah, that one's a little... There's some unpleasantness to some of the endings, but that's the point, is... They're supposed to make you question things and kind of think... Oh.
Hello. This is a recorded message scheduled either by you or a person in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages. If at any time you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded message into your perceptual sphere. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
Wait, you've ruined me. Okay, we gotta do that again, but something different with the phone. I will not answer that phone.
You need to be the one to do this. Oh, no, you can't. Did you just unplug the phone? Now, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check.
Maybe this is the
It's
one that you end
definitely
up in the
here, clear as
ceiling.
day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person.
I'm a real boy.
I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Go for it.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice.
Rupert?
He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read.
Forgetting how to read?
Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
My goodness, it's 4:30. I supposed to be having a back sack and
Making choices on a regular basis is
Oh.
the best part to a healthy
I've done something like that
decision-making
before in real
process.
life.
Most medical professionals
weird.
recommend making
I don't know
at
why
least
that was a
8
thing.
choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Oh.
You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Oh, we're going backwards. All right.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying.
Oh.
Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need
Fair
to get
enough.
you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Okay. We out. Do things not keep breaking down? I
Almost
guess.
there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
I don't think I will, though.
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Nope.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry
Oh.
back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
This is the ending I was thinking of. So I don't think this actually does anything going the wrong way. I think it's just you get a little bit of bonus there.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what?
It's
What did
okay.
you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to.
Grr everywhere.
I have to.
Ooh. Ooh, very inscription sound. Well, I guess, again, this came first, so inscription sounds like that. Ooh. She's not doing too well.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed.
Very reminiscent of
It
the
was
skip
only thing
button.
in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh,
That's not nice.
my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, the bathroom isn't even real. Oh.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
Was this in the
Shocked,
original version?
Unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Nightshark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a
It might not
sharp
be the
breath
original version, just a
and then
version for
spoke
the gag
code.
here. I'm trying. I can't speak though.
Stanley spoke the code. Nightshark 115. He spoke
I'm
his
trying,
to the
man. I'm
receiver,
trying.
Right there on the wall.
911, help me.
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step. Okay, fine, you're not going to do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story
What is it going to be with the
seriously.
bucket, I
If
wonder?
you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You...
There we go.
Into a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice.
The end.
I need you to walk through the door.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Can you hear me?
Well, this is kind of the epilogue, isn't it?
Stanley, this is important.
Or is there a different epilogue than this?
The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something.
22nd Century Toys LLC. 22nd Century. Ugh.
I need this.
What a terrible
The story
concept.
needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there?
Based on the work of Stanley Parable 2013.
It's okay, I can wait.
Does this actually mention...
To decide.
I guess they were above,
Make
they were the
sure
ones
your
responsible
choice
for the
is
PlayStation
correct.
port.
That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do.
Wait, why did it stop scrolling?
Take as much time as you need.
I guess it's done. I guess that's everything. Okay, that was weird, but funny. Oh, another one?
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work.
That's a lot of
Can you
boxes.
verify that this is correct? Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
Oh. Okay, I guess there's gonna be boxes to look forward to for this place. Alright, we gotta do that again, but with a bucket.
As Stanley lifted his bucket, he felt a connection to
Oh my
all
god, I keep
buckets
getting new dialogue with this picking up the
adventure, he
bucket thing.
decided, was for all of them.
They must have written enough for all the endings and then a bunch extra. Like for all the amount of runs you would do with the bucket.
Stanley clutched the...
Now pick up the phone.
Nope.
Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk. It was a joke. Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket.
It's funny.
Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it, but there isn't exactly an instructional
Oh, right, there-
video
are we
on
getting a
comedy
different
that
video
one
here?
can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is. It's sitting right here. Let's take a look.
This is about comedy?
What is comedic timing? What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively
Is this
silence
also the
your
narrator's
political
voice actor?
enemies? And more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds? Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes. Let's dive deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made
Oh.
someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from
I
your
don't know about
body.
that one, Chief.
These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing. To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor. Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary.
Oh my god.
When the joke has concluded,
18
it
seconds?
is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny."
Oh, what is that face?
Let's practice screaming, "I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
I'm Dunny with the funny.
Good. This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the
eyes are
cornerstone
just
of good
blank.
comedy. Finally, it's time to hand out surveys.
What?
Collecting hard data from your audience on how
Data?
right they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian. An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times.
Wait, how many hands this guy
just
got?
to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random. And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter.
Oh, I don't want that
and even
audience.
tripled
You can
over
keep
in
them.
laughter
Oh
in
no,
no
stop
time.
adding more.
Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threaten our very existence.
Why does that one have a
and
human
will very
leg?
likely die
Also,
in a
what?
hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our
We're super
lives
troopers
to
now?
this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
What? Why did this turn into weird
Hey,
future
goodness,
propaganda?
This video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So with that
Wait,
in mind,
outdated? Did
I
the
believe
war already
the
happen?
only way forward is for us to return to the two doors.
Oh, the bucket
and walk
timeline is
through
weird.
all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought we were gonna teleport there. This one's long. I was kind of expecting it to be like a quick cutoff gag.
I can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king of
Hilarious.
comedy. That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we had the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows
was
where
so
we'd be
weird.
right now. Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure. The bucket spoke to Stanley.
The bucket spoke.
The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
He's figuring out the voice for the bucket. That was so weird. It was like generic license-free art, but at the same time they clearly made it, so really weird.
Here we go. You ready?
Okay, so
When
same as
Stanley
the
and
first
the
time.
bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
No. Oh.
What? We're back at the phone already? No. What's going on? There was supposed to be several rooms leading up to this. There was supposed to be a build-up to this point. A dramatic display of remarkable comedic
Okay, so
wit
this is different.
which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land. Well, not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the two doors room. What an egregious mistake. I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing. I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp. I think I need to go back and rewatch that instructional video again. Yes, surely that will help me improve my...
Oh.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
What happens if I keep doing this?
What? We're back at the phone already? No.
Oh, okay. Same as before.
Here
Just
we
different
go. You
different
ready?
place for the gag.
When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left. No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone.
Did
you not even look at the instructional video? I think this is all covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley. I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on. All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud?
Oh.
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison. Yes. Well, let me try that again, Stanley. I heard that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are. No? Still not? Is it the delivery? Pale with shame. Pale with shame? Pale... What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so metal. I think I saw it playing guitar. No. We're getting away from making fun of Stanley's obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of this. I'm no good at these jokes. I need more instructional videos. That's exactly what it is. That's what will make me the king of comedy again. More
okay.
Instructional videos. Let's see.
Can I get to see the video? No, I guess not. Okay, I know there's an easy ending.
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started.
Oh, I
And
can't
if
do
it
the
did,
ending I
it
was
stopped
thinking
shortly
of
after.
because of the
Stanley
boxes.
hoped that he would one day see weather.
Holy smokes, there's a lot of boxes. Oops. What did she say, like 1,300 of them? Oh no. Wait.
When Stanley came to a set
How
of
far does it
two
go?
open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, it doesn't seem like there's any boxes past this point.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he...
Okay, I'm gonna begin again. I need the boxes to not be there or I can't do that ending.
All
There
of
we
his
go.
co-workers were gone.
How do you do it again?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Is-
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his
Where is
co-workers.
it? This chair. You need this chair. And then you go up. Isn't this how you do it? There we go. And then crouch and out the window.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Then
No.
in that case, we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue
I do believe they have
on
the
your
same
first
result.
playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Yeah, so this, I don't believe this one automatically resets. You have to manually do this. So what does having the bucket do for that?
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again. What new mysteries lay in store for our bucket-loving heroes
Bucket-loving
today?
heroes.
Let's find out.
Alright, so once again, oopsie doopsie, yoopsie doopsie, and out the window. So Bucket, what do you do now?
Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear. We've done it.
We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self.
The
What?
bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger.
If
of
only.
hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps, if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
This is so different.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket!
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
What brow?
No,
Said the bucket.
not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first
Oh, that guy
ensnared
again.
me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of... No!
Stanley screamed
Whoa,
even louder
whoa.
this time.
This is stupid! You are a bucket! This is so stupid! Why are we even
What's the
doing
music?
this?
As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like...
Sword?
My God, Stanley, you did
Oh
it.
my God.
You
Why
saved
is
us
there
from
so
the
much
bucket.
blood?
Thank God you already had all 12 emblems of sages and knew the incantations to summon their true power. Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling
There's
with
so
this
much
bucket,
blood from this
nor
bucket.
the dark magic cast away inside of it.
Oh. Okay. Okay, now I gotta look up ending to see what I don't know. Alright, so far as I can tell, the only one I'm missing is the heaven ending, which I'd never even heard of. This ending requires you to interact with 5 computers. So I need to find 419's computer.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply
419.
missed a memo.
Okay. How do I... Oh, on the keyboard. Then 423. Wait. 423's computer. 423 is not on. Wait. What is this? Restart the game between each input. Oh. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone.
This is a weird one.
What could it
I've
mean?
never heard of this ending.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had
423.
simply missed
Oh,
a
yeah.
memo.
Huh, okay. Then the secretary's computer. Where's the secretary? Oh, yeah, there is a computer in front
All
of
of
it.
his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Okay, let me go
Stanley
do that.
decided to go to the meeting.
Why does it sound like something's burning out there? What? That's different.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, so now this... Ah, okay. And then... 434. Isn't that kind of right near me? Like when I start the game?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by
4,
himself
there.
and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him.
Oh, and the last one is Stanley's desk. What does this do? Is there a reason to do the bucket as well? Whoa. I guess it's heaven because you can press all the buttons you want. Are they saying buttons? I had never heard about this ending. Oh, they turned back on. I assume this goes on forever. Okay. How can I do that? Oh, I probably need to have... Oh, it saves.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Okay, I either
What
need
could
to
it
wait
mean?
for... I have to get the... I have to get it to start where he says... Where, like, basically the door doesn't close.
Wait, Stanley thought to himself.
Oh,
Am I
perfect.
sure
That's
that
exactly
the
what I needed.
orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? Now this, Stanley thought to himself, this is a bucket. And indeed it was.
This is a bucket. No. There's more. My God. Or did you say it backwards? I don't
No.
remember. It's been a long time
No,
since
the
I
orders
saw
were
that
still
trailer.
missing. For now.
Or that video. So what does this do with the bucket? Oh, this is different. This is like the end from Minecraft. Why did it sound like there was something running? Oh, that's just the soundtrack. Okay, I'm just gonna assume that goes on forever, just like the other one. That's weird.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Is there
What
anything
could it
else?
mean? Stanley
didn't see any
decided
other
to go to
listing.
the meeting room. Finally, yes, the bucket. Yes, yes, yes. I love that bucket.
I like the
Stanley
bucket
clutched the
too.
bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Is there anything else I need to do?
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than
Alright,
ever.
I'm gonna look up if there's any
Perhaps
other...
his boss's office was where he'd find Stanley. We must move on from this broom closet simply because I have
Okay,
no
I'm gonna look up
remaining
any other
stickers.
endings.
If I did, you can.
Oh, there is an epilogue. Yeah, I was reading. There was one ending listed at the bottom. It was the epilogue. Oh, so there is something here. Epilogue. Okay. This is like the culmination of everything. This definitely wasn't the original. Many, many years later. Oh, it's from the skip button thing. I'm just wandering in the desert again. I like this music. Oh. Where'd you find the computer chair? What? That actually looks so cozy. Oh, that's beautiful, though. Is there anything else around? Nope, still the infinite wasteland. Whoa. This is just downright beautiful. And also reminiscent of Interstellar. Well, this part. This music, not so... Why is the moon so huge? Wait a minute, that's not how that's supposed to work. Is the moon's orbit decaying? The sun also looks unusually large. What is happening here? Well, I guess if we're many, many years in the future, that's a thing. The sun will eventually expand. The phone booth? That's the memory zone. What is this? Oh, wow. Okay. Well, the timeline is interesting here. I've got the bucket again. It's the escape pod. Oh, the chronology of this is something else. I didn't even see what I came out of. It was just like a doorway. Oh yeah, it's just it's the remainder of the memory zone. Wait, so the memory zone is a real tangible place? There is... Oh, there's the sun. It has a generator. I guess they really wanted to explain how it has power. Oh, it's completely empty, though. This is spooky. Cookie Nine's blogs. Review the Stanley Parable 2. Like so many, I enjoyed my time with the original Stanley Parable. No, you didn't, which underscores how truly disappointed I am with its sequel. Where the first came teamed with originality, the Stanley Parable 2 is dull, uninspired, and often insulting to its fan base. Rather than expand on what made the first game enjoyable, the sequel veers off into territory nobody asked for. An infinitely deep hole? Who cares? Where are the new endings? What about enjoyable bits from the Stanley Parable 1, like the adventure line? Instead, we get an uninspired side quest collecting figurines. Even this diversion feels incomplete. Collecting all the figurines gives you nothing. I must say, though, I found the bucket to be quite comforting. A welcome reprieve from recent posts. Review the Stanley Parable 2. Sorry, I've been blogging too much. Review Snraf 3. Protected post. Cookie's Corner. We need to talk about sequels. Go Guy on Review. Piss Order 0999. Boblin. Go Guy. Okay. Well, Cookie 9, you haven't changed in the millions of years, I guess, since this happened. Oh, the gym buttons?
Gym.
Stanley Parable developers. No more spin-offs, no more sequels. When the Stanley Parable launched to massive success in 2013, its creators made plans to build the property into an entire franchise. But a disastrous critical and commercial reception to the Stanley Parable 2 has prompted the developers to rethink their ambitions, as outlined in a press release they published today. It's clear that more Stanley Parable is just not what the fans want, reads the press release. We thought that we had a vision for the series that players would be excited about, yet it turns out this could not have been farther from the truth. The press release goes on to promise to preserve the artistic integrity of the original game, and to stop assaulting fans with our reckless and insulting creative visions. The word sorry appears more than 25 times in the press release. Oh. Is one of these buttons going to say something different?
Gym.
So these don't work. Okay.
Gym.
Oh, the figurines are over there.
Jim. Stanley.
Oh my god, one says Stanley.
Stanley.
Wow. Did I look at this pile? Yeah, I did. That's where I came in. Can I get more figurines? Oh, there's so many. Okay, I've gone above and beyond and collected 26 out of 6. Oh, this is scary. Oh. In the office? Oh. Hello again. Oh, it's Options Guy. It's nice to see you. But it's terrible to learn that there will never be another Stanley Parable game. Did you read what the developer said, preserves the integrity of the franchise? What nonsense. The Stanley Parable is not sacred. We do not need to protect it. Screw the legacy. Let's keep making Stanley Parable games until the sun explodes. Let's run this franchise into the ground. Let's drag it through the mud and back. And if people hate it, who cares? You see, that was the narrator's problem. He was so obsessed with what people thought of his work. Don't make his mistake. Don't cling to the legacy. Let it burn. It's not hard. In fact, let me show you. Together, we're going to make this Stanley Parable 3. It's simple. All we do is change the number in the game's title screen. We also need a really dumb subtitle for the game, something loud and gaudy. Go ahead. Try combining some random words together to make a new title for our game. Oh. Stanley Parable 3, the original stapler. It's the Stanley Parable 3, the original stapler. It's absurd. I love it. Every time you restart the game, we'll advance the number of the sequel by 1, and then we'll pick a new subtitle. That way, the Stanley Parable will never end. And nothing in the game itself will change when you do this either. Adding more content sounds like work, no need to do that. It'll just be the same content recycled again and again and again, with a new title screen. What do you say? Should we go forward with this plan? I like it, but I want you to have a say as well. Sure. Good, then it's agreed. A new sequel every time you start the game. And you know what? Since you put faith in my idea, I feel like giving you something as well. You see, I'm noticing that the narrator never found a way to give you the broken trophy, did he? Of course not. I wouldn't expect him to know how. It's been bothering me. Let's fix it. Alright, there. The trophy machine is all fixed. See? I'm on your side. We're in this together. We're going to keep this train rolling. The Stanley Parable cannot end. It can only spiral in on itself forever. I must keep the wheel turning. I'm ready. Are you ready? Great. There's only one last thing we need to do. Please enter the current time. Okay, well, we've been playing a while, so now it is 3:20. Please adjust the slider until the computer is barely visible. Thank you. Please enjoy the Stanley Parable. The original stapler. And there's a car. Okay, so the trophy machine is fixed, so I can go back to the new content?
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
I don't think we need to see this again. Yeah. Oh, right, the input thing's still there.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Come with me, Bucket.
One bucket. One chance to seize their destiny together.
Return to Stanley Parable Expo Hall. Okay. Wait, but I didn't have the bucket the first time I did this. Oh. Skip the whole thing?
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Okay.
Yes, you see? Isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think
No-
of all the
no
new
commentary in the
territory
bucket?
we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
I'm surprised. Maybe they didn't think you'd take the bucket in
Now,
here.
to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
I don't even remember if this is the original dialogue. I think it is.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
So, wait. If I go to bucket with bucket, what happens?
Wait, there are 2 buckets here. How did you get a second bucket? Oh no, the warmth and comfort of a single bucket is already so great, so intoxicatingly wonderful. With 2 buckets, there's no telling. Stanley, can you still hear me? Are you with me?
Oh,
Stanley! Oh, thank God, I didn't lose you, Stanley.
Whoa.
The power of 2 buckets was too much. I had to destroy both of them. I know how much the bucket meant to you, but I couldn't take the risk. I hope one day you can forgive me.
oh. Okay, that's a funny gag. Where was the trophy machine? Infinite Hall. I don't remember. Oh, probably there, where it says free new and easy trophy.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the trophy will be given to you.
Oh, it's
As you can see, the machine is not
missing
working. Wait,
texture.
What in the holy hell is going on? You got the trophy? Why did the machine work? Stanley, I didn't fix it. I didn't do anything to it. I swear, it was broken just a second ago. Who fixed it? Is someone here? Are we being watched? Oh, God. Composure. Composure. Yes, as you can see, the machine is working as normal. What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen
Oh,
yet?
I wanted to hear what he was saying about it, but let's see if he says anything else. Otherwise, I think that might just be it.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But all right, have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
I think so. Let's see.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but
This seems to be the
I can feel it in
same.
my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay.
No, I think it's the
Are
same.
you ready? Here
Let's
it
see if he
is.
shows the same
I
thing.
give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Okay, I think it's the same. Let me do a quick look up and see if there's anything else. Oh. New memory zone. What am I looking at? So I guess these are places you can go? They're like shortcuts? So what if I go to the memory zone with the bucket? Yeah, there's apparently something in the bathroom now. Oh, but I don't have the bucket now.
You remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Is there any difference
I
to
call
this?
it the memory zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want.
Oh wait, is this where the song is that I gotta...
Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley,
Am I gonna want to mute
doesn't
this?
the memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was? And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com.
Yes, it's great. I need to
Stephanie
keep going,
Sterling
please.
writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley
really gotta sit
Parable
through the-
strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how
So is there really no
grand
point to
and
this?
all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was.
I mean, I
It
guess
was
it's cool to see
literally
this content
every
again.
game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them. And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk.
Let me
with
in.
An hour of new elevator content.
Okay.
Here's another moving passage, this time
Oh, I gotta
from
listen to the rest of it, too?
GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've
Oh,
ever
it's the
been
card from the
confronted with in
title
a game.
screen.
9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise. These
Quickly,
were
before the
simpler
lady starts
times,
singing,
Stanley.
I'm afraid of that
What I
song.
wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no! Oh God!
Oh, man,
no,
is there really
Stanley.
nothing
It's
new
a
to this?
collection of reviews
That's so
from
disappointing.
pressurized gas.
Okay, so where does that one... What did it even say? I can't read it. Oh, I have the bucket this time. Okay, is this different?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video
Okay,
game
this is all the
released in
same.
2013.
Wait, Stanley.
Okay, still
I've
the
just
same.
now realized that bucket you're holding. It's the bucket I've been working on for my sequel.
Oh,
How did you get your hands on it? Isn't this the preview to the sequel? How do you have the bucket already? This makes no sense at all.
okay, there you go. That's different.
Hold on. Did I already show you my ideas for the sequel? I don't remember doing that at all. You're seeing things all out of order.
I am. What does that mean?
What order are all of these endings arranged in exactly? Oh, bloody hell, this game is far too complicated.
This is very funny. That you just confuse them. That's like the
So this
last thing.
means you must have already been to my exhibit on the Stanley Parable too. Because how else would you have the bucket? The infinite hole, the gym button. Did you see them already? Stanley,
Giant door, what was that?
None of them are ready yet. I'm still developing them. They're not even close to finished. How did they look when you saw them? Were they captivating? Were they exciting? Did they fulfill on the promise of everything that a sequel to Stanley Parable could possibly be? Had I figured out how the hell to make a sequel to this game?
I don't know. Did you?
Wait, if you're still carrying the bucket around with you, if the bucket is interesting to you, that means I must have made it correctly. Yes, you carrying the bucket with you everywhere is exactly what I set out to accomplish. The bucket is the exciting and captivating new content that I promised. I did it! I win! I made a sequel to the Stanley Parable. Yes, the sign is correct. Thank you for enjoying the new content. Thank you for taking the bucket everywhere with you. Clinging tightly to the bucket, never letting it go. It means I've won.
I did do that.
It means I am victorious over the gamers. It is a sweet salve of victory on my soul. Thank you for enjoying the new content. The bucket is the Stanley Parable now. They are one and the same. There is no Stanley Parable without the bucket. I win, 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 I win.
Is that it? Nope, that's it? Okay. Alright, I guess that's it for the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Any fun things?
All of his co-workers were gone.
No.
What could it mean?
Okay.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting.
Well, that was a lot of fun.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
That was
No matter
great.
how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Oh. I guess as I'm walking around the room. Yeah, it was fun to revisit it because, God, if the game came out in 2013, I must have played it. Well, I definitely didn't play any of the early versions, so I probably would have played it like, I don't know, 2015, 2016? Is that when it was kind of the more commonly known version? Ooh, I would have been in my mid-20s. Yeah, that sounds about right. Wow. Okay, well. Maybe if I do this again in 10 more years, I'll play it again. But that's it for now. So thanks for joining me. Come back, I'll have the next stuff up real soon. But until then, bye.